Greetings, my beautiful lovelies. It's Emmy. How are you? It's great to see you and welcome back. Today's video is sponsored by GlassesUSA.com, which makes cute glasses absolutely affordable. So GlassesUSA.com cuts out the middle person and offers prescription glasses and sunglasses for up to 70% off retail. There are so many cute, stylish frames to choose from, over 6,000, including in-house and name brands. And I love using the virtual mirror tool. It's a great way to try on the glasses. You don't have to leave your home, and then the glasses come delivered right to your doorstep. So a complete pair of glasses, including the frame and the lenses, start at $30, and every pair of glasses includes a basic prescription lens. So shopping at GlassesUSA.com is a risk-free experience. If you're not happy with your glasses for any reason, you may return them within the first 2 weeks of receiving them. Free shipping, free returns, and 100% money-back guarantee. So I've got a bunch of glasses here. Let me know which one is your favorite. Number 1, got some sunnies. How about these? And then for a little pop of color, boom. So if you'd like to try GlassesUSA.com for yourself, click the link down below to receive a special offer. Big thanks to Glasses USA for sponsoring this video and for their continued support. Now today, I'm going to be experimenting with ice cream. I'm going to attempt to make deep fried ice cream. I have heard of this, but I have never ever had it. And it kind of does that thing in your mind where you're like, is that even possible? Is that even a wise idea? Deep frying, crispy shell outside, warm, hot, and then frozen vanilla ice cream in the middle. Yes, I think that's a brilliant idea, actually. Generally speaking, deep frying is dangerous, but I think this recipe is going to be worth it. So today's inspiration comes from this book, Science and Cooking: Physics Meets Food from Homemade to Haute Cuisine by Michael Brenner, Pia Sorensen, and David Weeds. So this book is based on a popular series offered at Harvard University called Science and Cooking that explains science and physics through food. Yes! My kind of book. So here's the table of contents. What makes a recipe: heat, charge, pH, enzymes, diffusion, texture, viscosity, elasticity, emulsions and foams, microbes. There you have it, just in 7 chapters, all kinds of science. But what makes this really fun is that it includes recipes to demonstrate the science. So perfect, so wonderfully perfect. I just love, love, love that, because I am a visual, experiential person, and I learn so much better when I can actually see what I'm trying to understand. So today we're going to be tapping into the chapter on diffusion. So what is diffusion? As I understand it, diffusion is a process. You have a diffusing element. It could be heat, it could be acid, and it is entering, in this case, food. That process of it going is diffusion. So understanding diffusion is so stinking cool, because if we think of diffusion in terms of heat, it can explain why we have a seared steak on the outside, and then in the middle, it's perfectly medium rare. Or if we're making something like ceviche, which is a process of cooking seafood most oftentimes with some kind of acid, learning about how that lemon juice penetrates into the fish or seafood is an example of diffusion. So stinking cool. So today I hope to learn more about diffusion, and hopefully you will too, by making this recipe. And it is for fried ice cream. Doesn't that look beautiful? So how in the world can this recipe work? We have a ball of frozen ice cream. We have oil set at 375 degrees. How is this even possible? Well, science. We're going to do our best to control the process of diffusion. So in this case, the diffusing element is heat. So we have to control that process of the heat invading the food, which in this case is a ball of ice cream. Now, if we wait too long, we're going to have a mess. It's not going to work. So it's about controlling that period of time. Now, what's key to all of this is a beautiful equation. I know, don't stick with me. I'm not a math person, but this equation is quite beautiful. So here's the very elegant equation of diffusion. L squared equals 4dt. I know, it sounds like a lot. So L equals the distance of the diffusion traveling into the food. right? 4 is 4. D is the coefficient of the substance. That, I know, there's a table for that, so we don't have to worry about that. T equals time. So what we're going to do in our experiment is solve for time. We want to know how long the heat's going to take to penetrate into our crust so that we have a perfect deep fried ball of ice cream. If we solve for T, that would be L squared divided by 4D. So now we're just going to substitute the variables. D is the coefficient. We're going to use the coefficient of water. This is a table of some basic coefficients. Centimeters squared per second. So we're going to estimate the distance or the thickness of our crust to be 0.03 centimeters. Once we crunch all those numbers, so we squared that, we find out that the time equals 16 seconds. We know that we deep fry our ice cream ball for less than 16 seconds. We should have a crisp crust and not melty ice cream, because the equation of diffusion tells us that 16 seconds is the time it will take for the heat to diffuse past that crust. So stinking cool! Now we get to do the fun part and actually make this recipe to test our science. So since we're dealing with frozen things, there is some preparation involved, so let me walk you through the steps of what I've done so far. You're going to need a quart of vanilla ice cream, and get yourself a nice ice cream scoop that can make a nice round ball. And you're going to scoop about a half a cup of ice cream, place them on a tray, and freeze them for at least 1 hour. So in a large plastic zipper bag, add 3 cups of cornflakes and about 3/4 of a teaspoon of vanilla. Cinnamon. Zip that up and then use a rolling pin to crush all the flakes. Next, you're going to take 2 eggs and crack them into a shallow dish. And then using your impeccably clean hands, scoop out the yolks. We just want the whites. Then take a whisk and beat up the egg whites for maybe about 30 seconds to a minute until you have a nice kind of frothy, foamy mixture. And then take out your ice cream balls that you've frozen previously, toss them into the egg mixture, and then roll them in the cornflake crumbs. When they're sufficiently coated, place them back on the tray and then put them back in the freezer and freeze them for at least 3 hours. We want them nice and frozen hard before we deep fry them. I've got some peanut oil heating. I'm getting it up to 375 degrees. We are just about there. Alrighty, now we're going to test our theory, 10 or 15 seconds. Alrighty, here we go. 8, 5, 4. Look at that! Perfectly fried! Amazing! Look at that! Do that again. Oh my gosh, so cool. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 6, 1,000, 7, 1,000, 8, 1,000, 9, 11, 14,000, 15. Look how beautiful that is. It's perfect. Alrighty, let's eat this before it melts. This is my first taste of deep fried ice cream ever. So excited. Oh my God, it's still frozen inside. Look, it's still frozen. Let's give this a taste. Here we go. Itadakimasu. So delicious. So stinking delicious. It reminds me of breakfast. You've got that wonderful crunchy cornflakey shell on the outside that has hints of cinnamon. That's a little bit like Cinnamon Toast Crunch. And then you've got the cold vanilla ice cream in the middle, which reminds me of cereal milk, slightly sweet, a little bit vanilla. Delicious, absolutely delicious. So you've got a lot of sensory elements here. Not only do you have the kind of tactile crunch of the outside and the smooth ice cream in the middle, but you've got temperature too. You've got a slight warmth on the outside and then just cold ice cream in the middle. This is so fun. So fun, fun, fun. And delicious. I love the fact that it reminds me of breakfast. Amazing. Super, super, super fun. And it confirmed our results from our diffusion equation. Less than 16 seconds to fry up a beautiful ball of crispy, warm, yet frozen cold ice cream in the middle. That, my lovelies, is how you make deep fried ice cream. So stinking cool. Alrighty, my lovelies, thanks so much as always for joining me, and big thanks to glassesusa.com for sponsoring this video. If you'd like to get a special offer, click the link down below. Alrighty, thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed that one. I hope you learned something. Please share this video with your friends. Follow me on social media, like this video, subscribe, and I shall see you in the next one. Toodaloo, take care, bye! Oh, I forgot to take my lactase. I need some dairy enzymes or I'm gonna be in trouble.